All right, we are live on all of the tubes except Amazon. We're waiting on Amazon. It's Prime Day. This is Prime Day Deals Part 2. More Prime Day deals happening right now. So welcome. If you're joining us on any other tubes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all those places, you can join us on Amazon for Prime Day at Dealcasters.live. All right, let's hit it.
Thanks for having me on, guys. This is awesome. Love gear, love talking all about it. So yeah, this is going to be really fun.
I'm so excited. You guys are, everybody please share this out. Hit that like button. Follow these guys.
When you collaborate, you're building community. So there's so many things you can do for a business with a podcast, for sure.
Yeah, I love that.
How's it going?
Who was talking to you, Siri? I said the A lady. Ooh, Siri's getting frosty because I'm talking to the A people over here. And she's like,
Should I eat this?
Yes.
Because people really want that kind of conversation and relationship.
Yeah, and your show won't be boring.
Right.
You know.
Oh my God, I love you guys. Chris, you're just amazing. Jim, so are you. You guys are the best hosts ever, I think.
Just
Go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beautiful people of planet Earth on all the tubes, including Instagram Live, come on over to Amazon. It's Prime Day. Dealcasters.live is where you go. Just open up a browser and jump in. We're talking about what you can get for your podcast, for your live stream, for your content creator journey, right? Everybody likes to use that word journey. Jim, my name is Chris Stone. I'm at Cast Ahead, and my co-host, the beautiful gentleman on the left side of your screen, is doing marketing the Marine Corps way, Mr. Jim Fuse. How are we doing? Take two, man.
Take two. I was chuckling because I was like thinking at first, Chris, you're talking when the video was still running, but then I realized you were going live on Instagram, doing all the things. So it was
That's
funny
right.
'cause I
That's
could
right.
actually
Welcome to our friends
hear you.
on Instagram. Come on over to Amazon. It's Prime Day.
Dr.
Dealcasters.live.
Dr. Hicks is watching us over on Amazon.
Oh! Button up. Make sure that audio is good.
Yeah.
Make sure
And,
everybody's looking clean because we have James
Dr.
Hicks.
We're gonna have to put in a chit to the folks at Ecamm because we're just not being able to share the. Oh, he's wearing his Dealcaster shirt too. Oh my gosh! Now he's really
Hey! And what's up, Gabe Leal over on Instagram? You're amazing, my friend. You're amazing. Coupon Genius, what is good? Come on over to the show on Amazon. It's Prime Day, and why wouldn't you want to come to see us here? Dealcasters.live. All our friends are over here in the chat. Dr. Hicks. James Hicks is in the chat. Why wouldn't you want to come on over to Amazon? Dealcasters.live. This is take two. Gabe, I know you could identify with this. We had a crash. So we went live and, everybody started looking at Jim Fuse and we broke the internet. So we're back. This is take two. And
Take two.
Our friends at Shure have this cute little microphone that we're showing here to our friends on Instagram. And now we will show here to our friends on Amazon, and that is the Shure MV88 Plus. This puppy is amazing.
Add that into the carousel.
Add that into the carousel. But Shure has put this thing on sale, and so I'm going on the road this weekend to Influence in Orlando. So if you're part of the NSA, National Speakers Association, their conference is happening there. But I'm going there to work, and so I need good audio that's mobile. And this MV88 Plus, which is a USB microphone, which you can do everything. You could do a monocardioid thing and do some podcasting with it, as well as, get like a stereo thing. So I'm able to get focus this in. And so as I'm filming speakers on the stage, I'm able to dial in the right amount of audio on a particular phone. So I'll use this on my phone, but then I've got shotgun microphones as well for some of the other filming. And Jim, the lens hopper from Shure, do we have that in the carousel? I know this is take two. So
I can put it back in there.
Okay. So the lens hopper, which I'm going to grab right now, is more of a shotgun microphone that our friends at Shure have on Prime Day deal. Look at this beauty. This thing is this thing's amazing, and the difference between the Shure VP83 and the VP83F, both are, this one's the lens hopper, is the F stands for flash. So flash memory. And if you pop this thing open, and you can see right here is the slot for your flash memory, right there. And then you pop this open, and that's where you put your AA batteries. Jim, I don't know if we said that they were included or not.
They are included.
Okay, they are included. They are included. And so this thing is pretty amazing. You're able to basically, mount this on top of your camera. This is going to go in where your mic goes. You're going to be able to record onto the flash card as well. So you're going to have a backup. Katie Simpson, thanks for joining us over on Facebook. And let's get Katie. I've moved over to watch on Facebook from LinkedIn. Can't get into the Amazon site in UK right now. Happy Prime Day, Katie. Thank you for joining us. And so let's see. We won't power this thing on. We did that in the first take, and maybe that's what broke the internet. I don't know. But in any event, for those of you who are looking to get a more focused audio, and of course, on video, the most important thing is your audio. People will stick around if your audio's kind of funky or your video's kind of funky, your camera doesn't work, or you break the internet like we did. But if your audio's hot garbage, they ain't sticking around. So this is fantastic for getting more focused audio. I know some people that use this actually for podcasting. They put it on top of their camera, and they get that focused audio where their voice is, and they don't have the microphone in front of them. So that's another option for you. This is on sale today. Jim, I don't know if we talk prices here, but I want to say that this was like maybe $100 off, something like that.
Close. It's 30% off. It's
30% off.
Yeah, $90 off.
$90 off of the lens hopper. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. That's some good stuff there. Yeah, we did discover that not only is the 40s, which I have here, on sale, but I think so are the 50s, and Chris has those, and I have those as well.
Yep.
And so we can kind of, actually, Chris, maybe if you put us side by side, we can kind of show people a comparison at the same time. You want to try that?
Oh, that would be scary. So the Shure, I'm going to pull out these Shure Aonic 50s and make sure I don't by the way, let me see. I don't know if we can let's try to do this. So this is the case that comes with the 50s. The 40s has a smaller case because those things fold up.
I've
right?
got them. I can
these don't fold up as much as the 40s do, but let me get these out. And of course, like on all of these, you're going to get these cables that are going to allow you to go and get them directly into your computer. So you don't have to worry about a battery, Bluetooth, if you want to go directly into your directly into your computer and not have to worry about any of that stuff, the battery life and all of that good deal. Jim, I'm going to have to, if we're going to do a side-by-side thing, I'm going to have to build it here in Ecamm.
Oh, I was just figuring like when it's just the two of us, we'll just show it like this.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So this look. Yeah.
Yeah. So
All
this look, and so you can kind of see the one difference here, right? Like we talked about earlier, my adjust at the top, where Chris with the 50s adjust from the ear part. So, and he's got a thicker padding at the top, where this has got a little bit of padding in the middle section, but the side sections don't have the padding like the 50 does. And then they both tell you left ear, right ear, for those of you that might be ear challenged and not know which ear is which. I think you might be able to see it. See L and R. Right.
Yep.
And but they're both very, I almost feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, and I could be, I feel like they're both very, I think the padding on the ears themselves are the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
very comfortable.
The padding, I would say, in terms of comfort, they're the same, but there's a different sort of way that these are put together. So, really quickly, I'll go to my overhead, and you can just see the build is really the biggest difference, I think, in terms of the 50s and the 40s. So again, these 50s are not on Prime Day deal.
Oh no, they are, Chris.
Oh, they are?
They're 30% off.
30% off.
Yes.
All right, rock and roll. So, and again, this is the only way you can do this. So if you're looking for something to be able to be folded up and really, take up less space, the 40s are going to be what you're going to want. If you're looking for something that is definitely, I mean, you're going to see the stitch, the leather, like this is definitely something that's more of a solid build. I mean, this is really the biggest difference, in my opinion, is the quality of the build for the 50s versus the 40s. But
yes,
I have the 40s as well. Fantastic headphones. Generally, you're not going to be able to really tell the difference in terms of your comfort or the actual audio.
Yeah, and Chris, let's go back to talk about, we had talked about this in the earlier show, that if you're a podcast editor, right? And I would even say, even if you're a live streamer, here's where I mean, you can plug these in. There is a cable if you really wanted to do that with these. But I'm very leery, Chris knows that. We both got wired headphones right now, about using Bluetooth when live streaming. And I think even from the perspective of when you're doing editing, the audio that you're getting through these is not the same as like what Chris has on his head right now. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think when you're editing audio, and you want to make sure that you have headphones that are just giving you the actual sound of the audio. There's nothing coloring it. There's no added sort of low end bass response, which, like if you just want something and you want, that you want to enjoy your music, be able to dial in, EQ like you can on these Shures, like there's a Shure Play app, which allows you to, adjust the EQ, there's all kinds of different things that you can do to the sound that is coming out of your phone or your computer. And you can dial it in and say, hey, I really like, a lot more bass in what I'm listening to, which is cool. You can enjoy it. But when you're editing something, you don't want that stuff in there, because what's going to happen is you start editing and you're like, okay, this sounds really good. And then you export the file and upload it to YouTube or a podcast player or whatever. And all of a sudden it sounds like paper thin because you were editing with that added bass in it. So there is a way for you to just have these headphones be monitors. You just want to plug them directly into your interface or your computer in general, and just be able to hear the flat sound of whatever you're listening to and be able to edit. So there is some added functionality there. I do use different headphones for editing that are basically, like Heil makes some really great headphones. that go over my ears, allow some of the outside noise in, because most people, when they listen to YouTube videos or podcasts, there's going to be some outside noise that is brought in. So if you have something that's noise canceling over your ears while you're editing, that's not really going to give you the best sound either, because most people don't listen to stuff like that. Like, there's a small percentage of that. So you want a little room noise and some outside noise while you're editing as well. So you have a really accurate view of how, or not view, but a really accurate way of listening to the audio, and that works. Katie, thank you for all of the comments there and joining us on Facebook. If anybody is watching on any of the tubes, you're welcome to hang out there. But if we talk about something and you're like, ooh, that's something I might want to take a look at, or what's the price on that, come over to Dealcasters.live. We're already in Amazon. Katie, I know you've got some issues being ex-US, and so there may be that, but you're welcome to hang out on Facebook, and we love having the comments and Matthew and Gabe and the Coupon Genius and everybody here on Instagram. Thank you for hanging out there. But you're welcome to come on over to Amazon, and the easy way to get to the show is Dealcasters.live. Just open up a browser. I can't speak yet. Yeah.
Open up some broad.
It's still too early for me to speak, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Okay. What's next, Jimmy?
Why don't we go to one of your favorite toys? Let's talk about the Zoom H6.
Ooh, I love me.
Because this is, in some aspects, this is like a classic, isn't it?
It is without a doubt my favorite piece of gear. I've said this a million times. Although a close second is starting, and gaining quickly. Is my cloud lifter, believe it or not.
Ah, yes.
Man, I'm just loving my cloud lifter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my favorite piece of gear for podcaster, content creator, all of that. Again, this is something I'm going to be taking with me on the road. It comes in a great case. This is, as you can see, it's getting its use. This is the Zoom H6. Jim, what's our deal for this? What's up, Robert Shepard?
30% off.
Is it weird that I keep these little things that it came with?
It is not. You take care of your equipment.
I love this thing I love this thing so much. Full disclosure, the one kind of thing I would say about this before I start getting into the details of why this is such an just awesome piece of gear. This gets gummy. So you got to be the more greasy your hands are and wet and things like that. This gets gummy, and it's one of those things that content creators that have used the Zoom H6 have always said that there's just not really a solution for it. It's not like you can get like Goo Gone or whatever. It just kind of gets funky after a while. Mine, I've done what I can to keep it in great shape. The other thing too is that sold separately is the DC plugin for this. So you're going to make sure that you've got some AA's handy. It takes 4 AA's. Battery life is really good, so it's not a huge deal. I usually just I never bought the plug for it. I just use it with batteries, and it doesn't really take up that much. So why is this awesome?
Why is it awesome, Chris?
Why is this awesome? Let me turn it on so we can see. We can get like some lights and stuff going on. Zoom. It's a handy recorder, as you can see. But here's a couple of things. So it's got 4 inputs. Okay. Now these inputs, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, they will fit traditional microphone cables or XLR cables. Okay. But you can also put in a 1/4-inch instrument cable. So if you want to record your bass, guitar, keyboard, something like that, you can plug in your instrument cable, 1/4-inch instrument cable, or your traditional microphone or XLR cable. Not a USB mic. There's no USB input. However, another one of the amazing things about this is you plug it into your computer, and it will be and act as an interface. So if you have an XLR microphone, you can use this as your interface. Not, much like I have a Rodecaster Pro 2, Jim, you do as well, but you also have the Focusrite Scarlett, which is on a Prime Day deal today as well. Those are interfaces, but they're going to sit on your desk and you could take it with you. But this thing is a really good interface, and you can put it into, you screw it into a stand so you can get it up and out of the way. I've seen people put this on top of cameras. So you've got you've got this so that you can record audio here. And then basically, I'm not going to get too in the weeds on here. You've got your backup here so you can record audio onto your little drive here. By the way, Prime Day is a perfect time to... I can't forget about my friends over here. Oh, look at Jeff C. Whiskered Reviews is over on Instagram. What's up, Jeff? Dealcasters.live, Jeff. You think you would know by now to come over there. What's up, Robert Shepard? Prime Day fun. It's actually Gretchen from POV. Considering the Canon 135 millimeter lens, Jeff's in both places.
He's multitasking.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course he is. The other fantastic thing about this is you got your headphone jack. So it's one headphone jack. So if you want to have multiple people monitoring, say I'm setting this up, Jim, and I'm doing a podcast with you in the room, you're not going to be able to hear it unless we do a split out of this.
Right.
So I have a separate sort of headphone amp, which you can, splits into 4 different pairs of headphones. Just know that, like, if you want multiple people to monitor while you're recording this, you're going to need to come out of this and split that audio signal. Okay.
Okay.
So again, that's getting in the weeds a little bit. The other great thing that comes with the Zoom H6, this is like, you get so many goodies with this thing. Such a great thing. When you plug in your microphone, you can adjust your gain, and then, you want to make sure you're in the yellow. And, you don't want to go into the red, because when you go into the red you're clipping, and it's better to be too low than too high, because you can't fix that. But you dial in the right amount of gain for and this is, the preamps here, not fantastic, not like having a Focusrite or a Cloud Lifter or something like that. So I usually bring Cloud Lifters with me, so that I'm getting, more of that clean gain and not stressing out the preamps on this thing. So it's not noticeable. For me, it is a little bit. The preamps are
now,
okay.
Now with the Cloud Lifter though too, is that something that you, I guess after us meeting Roger and talking with him and learning, is that when you really started using the Cloud Lifter with the Zoom H6, or had you done that before?
I'd done that before. And so,
Okay.
I mean, there's other versions of that add clean gain, other like FET heads and things like that. I just feel like the Cloud Lifter is just better. And we're sitting here talking about a Cloud Lifter. Let me get one in the picture. How about we do that?
There you go.
So we've got a couple of Cloud Lifters that we use to just dial in the right amount of gain. It's not totally necessary, and obviously if you're traveling on the road, you're probably not going to be in a really well-treated room either, so you're giving up some things already, so it's not like a huge deal. But here's all the great things. These are microphones that actually come with it. So you could basically, as a podcaster, and Jim, we talked to somebody at PodFest, they have a podcast, and this is what they use. Like, this is everything that they use. They use these mics, and they use the Zoom H6, and that is their podcast. They take the audio from it and, upload it to their podcast. So check it out. These are capsules, and each one of these are microphones. And so what you do is you squeeze this and you pop this puppy on like so. And now all of a sudden, this becomes, you see how this says LR? Show my friends on Instagram, LR. By the way, if you're watching us over on Instagram, we're at Dealcasters.live. It's Prime Day, and there's some great deals here on things like the Zoom H6. And so what this is I hit a button. I probably shouldn't. I hit the menu button. Okay, let me close it out. Now we see here on the screen, you see how on the left-hand side of the screen, we have something else that's showing up. That's these microphones right here.
Okay.
And so what this microphone is it's a stereo condenser mic. So this is good if you're like in a room, you're recording a concert, something like that. You're going to be able to dial this in and get the audio at a level that actually is good. Let me activate these. Boom, there we go. Now we're going to see it light up. So now you're seeing, like if I tap this one mic on the top, right here, you're going to see one side go up. And if I tap the other one, you're going to see the other side. See that? All right, so what that's doing is it's directional.
Now, does that mic come with this kit, or you have to buy it separately?
It does.
Okay.
I have one capsule that I bought separately. And I'll show you that really quickly. It just shows you the versatility of this. So I'm going to pop this off. And now you can see that it's back to the way it was on the screen without that. Jennifer Watson, what is up? We see you on Instagram. If you watched our Dealcasters intro, we always have kept Jennifer Watson at the very end because she always tells us how awesome and amazing we are, and we always smile. Yes. Jennifer Watson, thank you for joining us on Instagram. If you want to come over and get some deals, we don't have any weather gear in the carousel, unfortunately. But wow, our first guest ever on Dealcasters, Jennifer Watson. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. We're at dealcasters.live over on Amazon. It's Prime Day, Jennifer. Are you getting anything on Prime Day? Come on over and let us know. Dealcasters.live. Here's the other microphone that you get in this kit, and you could see right here, you see right and left, this is another one that is a stereo. So what this is going to allow you to do is this is like, okay, I want to record a podcast, but I don't have multiple mics. I just have one mic, right? You're maybe in the locker room after the game, or you're on the sidelines, or you're like, hey, let me grab this, let me record this really quickly. This microphone is going to allow you to do that, and you can see it's coming in here. I need to adjust the gain up on it. Check 1, 2. There we go. And so this is going to record. So this is like, and here's the other thing that comes with it is a pop filter. So we put this on here. I'm pushing all kinds of other buttons on here. So now we look like we're backstage speaking into a microphone, and we're going back and forth, and we're recording something on this. This is so versatile, and it really is something that I always take with me. And I have, you're never in a spot where you're like, oh man, I wish I had recorded that. You always have something with you to record. It's solid as a rock. I've dropped this thing many times, and I don't worry about it. I really don't. All right, here's the capsule really quickly that I bought separately. It does not come with the kit, but just so you're aware, Zoom does make additional capsules. This one expands this out to even more inputs. So now you can record up to 6 inputs with this thing. So you can see you got 3 on each side.
Wow.
With this capsule. And so, of course, this becomes the LR input right here, left, right, and then you have the 4 inputs here. Pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think too that we've learned there's some adapters that you can put into those XLRs, and actually you could use a wireless microphone with that if you needed to. With the
wait a minute, say that again. I'm
so
sorry.
I know because I had to do it with the Rodecaster Pro. There's a plug-in that you put into the XLR, and then that will tie into your transmitter for your Rodecaster, for like your Rode Wireless Go 2. I wonder if that would work with that. I remember.
Yeah. So yeah, I have done that as well. So like you basically, what you're saying is, you got your Rode Wireless Go, and you've got the cable that comes out of the transmitter. And yes, I've done that as well. And you plug it into there, so you can kind of be mobile and walk around as well. I need to get that hooked up. before I leave for Orlando this weekend. That's the
Giving you a
Zoom
lot of
H6,
ideas.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, that is very cool. Let's see here. So we talked about here's something we didn't get to earlier. So let's and you can do the overhead if you want on me. I've got the um, Focusrite 2i2, which is on
Hang on.
sale.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. And so this is something that I've had for a long time, and this is great. That like what Chris is doing. Chris is traveling. So this, as you can see, right? It's smaller than my keyboard. This is a small Mac keyboard, not the full one. It's got two inputs, two XLR inputs. You can also plug your headphones in there. They've got you can adjust your volume there. You can adjust your gain for each of the microphones. And this thing is great for travel. It's solid. I used it for a long time before I upgraded to, and I don't even know if I call it upgraded. I went to the Rodecaster Pro 2 for different reasons, but Focusrite makes great gear. This thing I've had literally for a few years and still works fine. This is what I would most likely travel with, because if you've seen the Rodecaster, which you can see part of it here in the corner, this is a big piece of gear, and if you're traveling, you're probably going to want to do something like this, or you're going to want to do something like Chris is doing with the Zoom H6. But this is on sale now. Focusrite has come out with some other stuff. They've got the Vocaster, which is another great piece of gear if you're on the move and on the road. And it also comes with some software that you can use for we call it DAW, right? The digital audio workstation. Chris, did I get
There
that
we
right?
go. Look at Jim. I'm so proud of you.
I learn a lot.
Mike
hanging out.
nerd, acronym nerd, Jim Fuse.
Yes,
I'm adding
but
that to
we
your
just say
LinkedIn.
DAW, be like, what? What's the DAW? Is that a dog without the G? Because we are in Georgia. But this is so this is 22% off, and people say, well, why'd you get one with two inputs? Because you never know when you might need that second microphone. See, this is what people don't always think about as well. So when you start out in the world of microphones, you guys like, oh, I'm just going to get a USB microphone, right? Like our old friend, the Blue Yeti, which is going away because it's a USB. You just plug it into your computer. But what you miss the point of with these XLR inputs, and you could actually even plug an instrument into this too, correct, Chris?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah,
So
same inputs as the Zoom H6
yeah,
with that work as a microphone or an instrument cable. Yep.
yeah. But you all of a sudden want to have a second person in the room with you. Well, unless you want to share the microphone, well, this is now going to allow you to
That's right.
each have individual audio inputs. You can record it that way. You're going to get, because Chris, as an editor, will tell you he sure as heck doesn't want to have to try to edit something that's on the same track of two people. You want to have those individual tracks. So that's where this really, really comes in handy. And great to see you, Monty Weaver. It's good to see him. And then, we have also got
Pudgy.
who's this? Pudgy the Humble Hillbilly McGee. Thank you for stopping by. So I bet they sound like they're someone that does some musical work as well. And
You think?
oh
Oh, it
yeah,
looks like a guitar.
capture cards. Um, is capture cards the same as SanDisk, or is that something different?
No, that would be like a video capture card for your
Oh,
computer. Yeah.
yes.
I don't know. Let's take a look. I think that's
Take a
a
look.
good
And
opportunity for us
you
to.
can give us a different look, Chris, if you want, since we're gonna go look for that. Um, let's
Okay,
see here.
so let's ba 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 ba.
Searching Amazon. This is where I wonder if what's her name would tell us
Now it
if we
looks like
asked
we've
her.
got one capture card here. It's a Prime Day deal. Ba ba. Looks like a somewhat generic brand. So, but this is on deal here. $15. 4K. 1080p. I mean, for $15, maybe worth a shot.
I see.
right?
I see another one too. It's called a Rybosen 4K audio video capture card. It's about half price.
Oh, here we go. So here is the Elgato. So this is something I can recommend for sure. Prime Day deal here, 30%. Oh, well, hang on. Let me make sure it.
Yeah, we're not seeing what you're showing right now. We're seeing.
I'm just now realizing that. So let me switch to. Boom. Here we go. So this I can recommend. So this is the Elgato HD60, 30% off Prime Day deal. It's normally $200. So this is the HD60X right here. The 60 Pro, this is your external capture card, right? So if you wanted to, you can see this a slot. Whoops, hang on. There we go. It's a slot to put it into your PC, right? This is, more money, but obviously you're getting that 4K 60 frame rate, frames per second deal. If you want something here, that is external. So this is the external. This is what you would use on the outside of your computer. This being a Prime Day deal that's pretty incredible. So I don't know if that helps you. Let us know in the chat and we'll look for some other ones here. Let us know in the chat if that's helpful for you and maybe your setup. And then we can talk about what we might recommend.
And Gretchen said, "Thanks, guys." Now, how is I guess the because I don't know if this is something you have, Chris. I don't even know if it's on sale, but you've got the Cam Link, right? Is that from Elgato as well?
The Cam Link. Let me make sure that because that might be on deal. Yeah, the thing is when you type in Cam Link, you're going to get like all kinds of other stuff. So here it is.
But it doesn't look like it's on a deal today.
I mean, obviously, a ton of people use this, right? And it's very easy. You just put it in your USB slot, boom, and put your HDMI cable with your mirrorless camera or whatever, and it works. You could throw it in a bag. Doesn't take up much space. Definitely takes up less space than the other unit that we have, but it's $95, not on Prime Day deal. So my suggestion is if you're looking to, depending on your setup, this right here, you're going to get a higher quality. It's just going to take up a little more space on your desk. But this is very much about, like if you're a live streamer, you're a gamer, like Lost Curry, who we had on Dealcasters, something like this. This is going to help you. But again, I mean, you're going to use this for doing what we do, right? You can go live on Amazon with this thing. Of course, you got to get approved as an influencer and have a camera, with a HDMI cable. This is a great deal. So
Chris, let me ask you this then: if you were going to get a capture card, right? Because we've kind of talked about this before. Like right now with my ZVE10, I'm just using the HDMI straight into my what do you call it? My interface. It's the with the mini. I've got all these different OWC ports. Would you go with that 60 or would you go get the Cam Link?
I would get the 60. It's just you're getting a higher quality, you're getting the ultra low latency, you're getting a little more versatility. It's not a huge amount of space on your desk. I don't love like if let's go back and look at this Cam Link. The one thing I don't love about it is when you plug that thing in, I mean you have an available USB port. And like, depending on your setup with USBs, there may be, things stacked under, like it takes up a little space around that USB input as well. I don't know. It just feels, I just like something a little bit more sturdy.
Yeah.
And so for me, like the difference is what, $40?
Yeah, $40 right now. Yeah.
You know, and to me, I think this is, I believe, let me make sure. It definitely works with PC and Mac, but I think it has a headphone. Let me see, because you can go out of it. I want to say, let's take a look at it really quickly. Trying to remember if that was. Speaking of loss, here he is talking about it.
Yeah.
The video here on the page.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go watch that for the sales up.
But yeah, you're using the A10 Mini as your, and it's doing this. It's giving
Right.
you the 60 frame rates. It's giving frames per second, I should say. It's giving you up to 4K. Obviously, on Amazon we're 720p, so you know there's but you can go 4K utilizing the camera that you've got, which is the Sony ZV-E10. Let me just see. Let me look at the specs really quickly. This is actually a really good deal. This may be something I think I might get this. You know, because I need a good capture card in my office.
Right.
And
Well, it even makes me wonder too, because and I think you may have got it, but now having the Insta 360, I guess we'd call it the mini camera,
Mhm.
and it's got a 4K capability. I wonder if that could plug into that.
No, it comes out USB, right? So basically you it has its so you're going directly, that's a webcam. Yeah, you know, so
Yeah.
it's going directly in. This takes your mirrorless camera that's not a webcam
okay.
and gives you clean HD to be able to do this. And so and like, you know, game and, you know, OBS and StreamYard and Ecamm and all of those things. I think the biggest difference between not just the quality, but we should make mention of this. So we're this one is on Prime deal. The Elgato HD60 is USB-C. The Cam Link is USB-A.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, listen, we got to buy all kinds of adapters all over the place, right? But
Yeah.
most new computers, Macs, are like you basically it's USB-C, right?
Right.
You're going to have more USB-C.
And you can get an adapter as well if you needed to.
Yeah, but I mean, anytime I don't like putting things through adapters. Like I wouldn't suggest doing, plugging in any of this video stuff through an adapter or a hub. Like you want to go directly into your computer to do this, because it's I don't know. You just some of these hubs are just, you know, may or may not be compatible, and so. I don't know. I hope that helps. Does that help? The question, is it Gretchen that asked the question?
Yes, it was Gretchen that asked the question.
Okay. Currently,
she says she uses the HDMI off a Canon M6 to do direct to MacBook, but can't take advantage of 4K. So looking to add something in the setup to get 4K with Ecamm, etc. So
definitely suggest that Elgato HD60.
Yeah, because I think too, to your point, because when I hear people, and this has been my hesitation, when I hear people talking about the Cam Link, I think it's to your point, it's a little limited. And sometimes people have problems with it. It's the way you plug it in. So for $40 more, you're getting something that's got a lot more capability. I think that's I know, now you got me thinking about buying something I probably didn't need.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, I've got the switcher too, right? And so that's, I mean, right now down here, and I've used it at times, the A10 Mini, but it's more of it will take that video and do what this HD60 does. But like, if I want to switch, if I have multiple cameras plugged into it and I want to switch, I can do that. And it's a hardcore switch for what I've got. So it's a clean way. This is the other thing too, Gretchen. That this does, is it takes all the stress off of your computer. Like you want to, if you're plugging a camera, like you, Jim, you just talked about the Insta360, right? That's coming right into your computer. Okay, so it's going to stress it out a little bit more. Whereas, like if you're going through something like this Elgato HD60 or an A10 Mini or something like that, it's taking that stress off of your computer. And then Gretchen, you're talking here about using Ecamm, which is we're using Ecamm right now, but we all know that takes up a lot of resources on your computer, right? And so these Macs are great, especially these M2s and M1s. They're great. And so if you're using Ecamm with a Mac, I would suggest, having something interstitial like this Elgato HD60, a switcher. If it's a Mac, depending on what you've got, if you're like, I want to save $40 and get the Cam Link, just realize it's a 2.0. I don't think it's 4K. That's the other thing. And I think Gretchen's talking about this being 4K. That is what she needs.
Yes.
Hopefully that helps you, Gretchen.
Yeah, this one will do the HD60 will do 4K.
But I don't think the Cam Link does. I could be wrong.
We'll check.
I had a Cam Link back in the day, but for me, I was like, I'd never went 4K with it. So,
well, I think sometimes too that now there is a 4K Cam Link.
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. There is a it's a different brand though. There's one on sale.
Yeah, there's a lot of off-brand capture cards.
Off-brand.
And
But the Elgato Cam Link is a 4K, but it's 9560. And to your point, I mean, it's kind of limited, right? It's USB-A, and then you're plugging your device into the Cam Link.
Yeah.
Where this other one looks like it's got a lot more options. Unless you want to, of course, then I guess it looks like you got a card, this thing called a Cam Link Pro. But I don't think our computers won't let us stick anything inside of them because they're.
Yeah. The other thing too, Gretchen, is I know it looks like you're wanting to stick with your Canon M6 directly to your MacBook. What a lot of people do, and like what I use right now for my overhead camera right here, is like these Sonys. So I've got a ZV-1, Jim has a ZV-E10, and you could just plug that into your computer, and Ecamm automatically recognizes it, and you don't need it. You don't need a capture card. So that's but obviously it's like $500-600 for a ZV-1 or ZV-E10 versus $130 for an HD60 Elgato. Really may solve your solution where you just plug in your Canon M6 into that, then into your computer, and then you've got Ecamm rocking in 4K. So I'm Canon through and through. I had a Canon since '74. Wow, get off my lawn. We have a Canon person like, how dare you bring up a Sony camera?
Sounds like Kevin Colby. I think he's pretty set on Canon as well. But no, that's good. Hey, since we're talking about Elgato, let's talk a little bit about the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck MK2, which has got the 16 buttons, is got a Prime Day deal. It's 23% off. So that's or is it 15 or 16? Maybe it's 15.
Right.
15 buttons. 15 buttons.
Yeah, so I have this on the screen currently. So now this is I got the one with more buttons because I usually am like you can actually use like I've got them all. You can see they all got something that goes with it. Okay. But you can program this thing to do so much, right? It's incredible the amount of stuff that you can use an Elgato Stream Deck to do. I mean, it can control your lights. It can, hit, like if I wanted to stop the sound right now or pause or like you can program all your Zoom stuff into this. So if you do a Zoom presentation, and you want to like share your screen or all the functions on Zoom, you can program into your Stream Deck. So it's not just this. I think a lot of people think, Jim, that a Stream Deck is like only for, YouTubers and content creators and
Right.
things like that. This is even just getting the smaller one, like the one that's on Prime deal today, is something that, you could do everything on your computer. You can program like Photoshop. You can program like all, it works with all kinds of software. Any hotkeys, you can program with it. You can program certain things to turn on, like and turn off on your computer, browsers, all kinds of software you can program. Now, what I do on the show, like right now, you're seeing this look with the overhead, right? So that's this button right here. And you can see it's got that green around it. But if I hit this button right here, it'll go to Jim big on the screen and me in the upper corner here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that button right here. And now you see it's switched. So this is why, when you see the show and you're like, oh, wow, these things are flipping here and flipping there. And I'm going to hit another button and it's going to go to this. And so all I did there was I hit that button right there, which is already programmed in there. And I use the Stream Deck software, and it works very well with Ecamm. And so I'll set up this scene in Ecamm, and then all I do is I put that scene in my Stream Deck software. Very easy to program once you start getting the flow down. So another thing that I use it for is to do presentations. A lot of people freak out when I do this. So I'll do what's called a virtual camera. So it's like, typically if you show up into a Zoom or whatever, and you do like a client call or whatever, if I'm talking with a prospect or something like that would want my services, I've got this look. But I've selected what's called my virtual camera in Ecamm. So whenever I want to start talking about something and bring some information in, I can just hit a button, and all of a sudden I'm like, all right, so here's my, this, and I programmed this into my Stream Deck. And if I want to move it over and I'm doing a presentation, but I'm still on the screen, right? You still see me. I'm going through slides and I'm talking about all this stuff. As I'm talking, I'm hitting a button right here on my Stream Deck. Every time I hit that button, it switches. So if I hit this button right here, it's going to show all of the links and stuff for software. And when I'm doing a thing on Descript, I hit that button. So it really is a super versatile thing. And this looks like it's like super complicated. Trust me, it's not. Very, very intuitive software from Stream Deck. And it makes things so much easier for you, so much effortless for you to be able to do a great virtual presentation. Because Jim, you and I, are big proponents of, like this is the new suit, right? If you want to present somebody, it's not just going to be like, hey, can I share my screen?
Right.
Can you see me right now? Can you hear me?
Why? Yeah. Why?
No.
Why can't we get? Oh, I forgot to
Program
enable
it.
the ability to screen share on Zoom. Sorry, we can't share your presentation.
You're in control. This
Yeah.
allows you to be in control with a virtual camera and be able to select and do your presentation. Listen, I can't speak like the whole game changed for us when we integrated a Stream Deck into our show. It really did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and I love what Katie's saying. She's like, you can make the buttons look pretty too, which for a girly girl is important.
That's true. And so, you can take, little graphics and pull them in there. A lot of this software, we talk about Ecamm, and we're using Ecamm right now, but Ecamm doesn't pay us, just so you know, full disclosure, right? But we also use StreamYards and other, Restream, all of these things we use. You can program those too. So if I want to go to a different look, I have a StreamYard. I have all of my here. Well, let me see if I can do this here. Let me switch to my Ecamm profile, pull this back over, and I'll go to my overhead. All right, so here's another thing that I do as well. So, obviously I have all of these scenes programmed for Ecamm, but I use StreamYard for many of my clients. So I have this, which sends me to a folder called StreamYard. And I hit this, and now all of these buttons are buttons that change the view in StreamYard, like solo, dual, screen share. I can mute myself in StreamYard. I can turn my camera on and off. I can go to different things. These are all hotkeys that are programmable in StreamYard. So instead of me looking on the browser to click on things, I'm just hitting buttons. And then I got my finger over here on the mouse because there are certain things I'm going to have to move, and I can type. And so I'm using this to switch my screens and mute people, and I'm using this to pull in other stuff. So it's really super versatile for you to be able to do this. Now I'm back on my Ecamm look right here, and now I'll go back to where Jim and I are side by side by hitting that button, and here we are. So
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's a great tool. I mean, to your point, I mean, it's like, even with, as an example, in Ecamm, I have 3 different what I call profiles. I have one where I'm using this camera as if it was a cell phone. I have one for Zoom, and I have one for when we're doing a show like this.
Yep.
And each one of those profiles, I can have different buttons. So they don't have to be the same, and it's just a matter of switching. Like Chris says, you can either switch it through the software, or you can do the folders thing. And there's a lot of other things it does. And Katie also mentioned that she did that. Alec Johnson, he's got a tremendous course out right now on the Stream Deck. And then Ola Eric from Venezuela. The headphones that we recommend, it depends on what you're doing, Eric. I'm using in-ear monitors. These are from Shure, and they're wired. There's also wireless. Chris has got headphones on. And are you looking to use these for live streaming, or are you just looking for something to just like watch and listen to things? That's kind of where I would ask you, because if you're looking for just some good headphones for traveling or whatever, right now the Shure's got a great deal on their Aonic 40s and 50s, and we talked about that earlier in the show. But if you're looking for something more specific, we can definitely help you with that as well.
yeah, here's what I'm going to do, Eric. Let us know kind of what you're using it for. Recreational, if you need wireless, if you're maybe using them maybe for editing or something like that, we can certainly recommend. And this is not a bad idea, Jim, for us to maybe pull up and check out the page here and look for some headphones. Because I mean, the Aonic 40s and the Aonic 50s, depending on your budget too, Eric, let us know budget-wise what you're looking to spend. So let's pull up the screen share. Let's see if what we have here is a surprise. It's working. Okay, and we've got the Shure Aonic 40s. Let's take a look at the 40s first, which is their Prime Day deal. These are $150, regularly $320. So this is a great deal. 53% off of these. You're going to have the wireless capability, but you can also go wired into your computer. So if you do some sort of editing, you don't have to worry about the extra bass and all of that stuff, but it has the versatility, Eric, for you to be able to, have the app, adjust the EQ, get the settings for particular types of music, right? So, if you want it flat for podcast audio, that kind of stuff, you can set it in the app. Personally, I think I don't even use the app if I were doing editing, and I would just like the natural sound of whatever I'm using, because that way when you post it somewhere, it's the actual sound of the way it should sound. But if you want some extra bass, you got that versatility, or you want some extra treble or mid range or whatever, you can do that with this, and it has an app which allows you to adjust there. So that's $149. 53% off. It is excellent. Oh, they also have the white version, Jim. So there is that. There's some versatility. Those are cool as well. And then the 50s, which are on sale as well. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
Eric, the 50s. There's a number. So
That's
we'll
right
pull
there.
up some of these other Prime Day deals too on headphones, and these are 30% off. So these are $209. So these are this is an additional $50, for these, but the build quality is considerably different, right? So you're getting the stitch, you're getting the leather. It's the leather cups as well. So it's just, I don't know. They're not as flexible. Like you can't like package it. You're not going to be able to take it with you as easily. They come in a larger case, all right? And so if you're looking for something that's a little bit more mobile friendly, the 40s are something that come in a smaller case. They fold up a little bit more easily. But and I'll pull up my overhead here. The build quality of these Aonic 50s, as you can see, a lot more solid. You got very little plastic on this. There's a lot more of this leather. Jim talked about earlier how you're adjusting. It's going in and out of here as opposed to the 40s. So I hope that helps you. Those are what we would recommend. But if you're looking for, like Jim said, more of the in-ear monitors or something like that, we can certainly recommend some of those, and maybe look for some more Prime deals on headphones, Jim.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, this is something too. We might need to do some videos that we'll put out on our YouTube channel, where maybe we'll do some headphone comparisons for people, because that's some good questions, and definitely different things for depending on what you're doing. I mean, even the 40s and 50s are very similar, and it may just come down to, for some people, it may come down to price. For others, it may come down to, function. But they're both, solid headphones and
Agree.
great.
So let's talk about your camera, Chris, the ZV-1.
We could do that, and then I do have a show coming up, so we could talk about it. Here's the thing about my ZV-1. It's currently in use, so it's going to be hard for me to show it. It's my overhead camera right now, so that's this puppy here. And I talked a little bit earlier about this when Gretchen was talking about her Canon camera. One of the great things about this Sony ZV-1, I should have plugged in my phone and used that as a camera, but I was going live on Instagram, so that is what it is. Oh, maybe I can here. I have an idea. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. This is going to be a little wobbly, but it's going to work, I think. Let me see if this works. It does.
Oh,
how about that?
Look at
All right, I'm using this is my Insta360 link, and it's a little wobbly because it's trying to follow my head, so it's always going to go back to my head. It's got a little AI built into it. So this is the Sony ZV-1 that I'm using as my overhead. I'm using like a Ulanzi. God, that's probably making people sick. Let me see if I can hold it still as I can. But I have it coming right out of the camera into my computer's USB, and Ecamm is detecting it. I don't need a cam link or anything like that. It goes directly in there, and then there's a USB streaming function. Now, the difference between the ZV-1 and what Jim has is the ZV-E10. I'm going to go off this because I'm probably making people sick. The biggest difference there is that you can put different lenses on a ZV-E10. And as you saw from my overhead, the ZV-1, which I'm pointing directly at, it has a built-in fixed lens, thank you, that you can use to focus, and it does great for things like this. And then I'm going to, obviously I'm going to be taking it with me on the road this weekend. So it's a good camera for vlogging, right? And it comes with, some of the kits come with this. So this works. This Sony it also is a stand. That's all right. So you can use this with your Sony ZV-1 and use it to vlog, selfies, whatever. Use this to record and do all of that fun stuff as well. So this will also go with me to Orlando this weekend.
Yeah.
And although I just got a phone call from my client, so that may have changed. We'll see. No, I'm sure it's fine.
But
all right,
well,
ladies and gentlemen,
so
Jeff C.
I know we gotta get
Phil
going
Hill.
here, but I want to say hello to Phil and Eric. We're glad we were able to provide you some help. And so
Yeah. Eric, thank you for joining us.
thank
We
you for that.
appreciate you over on YouTube. And for those of you who are watching and have not followed us or subscribed for free to us on YouTube, we're at Dealcasters on YouTube. And every time you follow us on YouTube, we can still say this, right? And follow us here on Amazon. Geez, every time that we get a follow on either of those places, a Blue Yeti gets its wings. For as long as Logitech, which by the way, for those of you who, know what a Blue Yeti is, that's on deal today as well for Prime. And I kind of feel like this is going to be the last time you're going to be able to do that if you want one of those microphones, because it looks like Logitech is no longer making that. And what is up, Scott Ayers? Yeah, right. We should charge you, Scott, to yeah. Here's my Venmo. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to give that out. But thanks for joining us, Scott. Have you gone live yet today? Jeff as well, and Phil and Scott, also Amazon influencers, creators, great in their own right, covering a wide variety of things. All three of them, fantastic people to follow on Amazon. So follow Livestream Labs on Amazon. Follow Jeff C. on Amazon. Follow Phil Hill Knows Smart Home Tech on Amazon. Fantastic creators and tremendous people as well. So 2 lives so far. Got 17 on schedule for 2 days. Boy, Scott, I hope you plan for some bathroom breaks for that. And it looks like Phil's going live later, so we'll be sure to try and catch you there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this stream actually worked. The first one that we went kind of crashed, so we appreciate grasses right outside the door. All right, Scott, lift your leg and don't fear the gear.